Hi, Tom Cole, the coach for Buckeye Cable and BCSN, and welcome into another edition of Sports Flash. And certainly my honor and privilege to welcome in an outstanding coach, Coach Terry Awls. Coach, thank you so much for being with us, and his outstanding son, who's a player on your team, Cameron. Cameron, thank you, and Kendal Marshall, congrats on a great season. Thanks for being here. Timberstone Wolves. Now, guys, it's a great story. Let's see, make sure I have this right. Is it 50-1? Is that correct?
50-1 between the two NLL titles, summer league stuff. We've only lost one game.
Yeah. So. Let me get my arms around this, Coach. 50-1. I mean, that's an incredible record. And we've got a lot of the rest of the Timberstone Wolves are here in the background, and they've done a remarkable job. They're great student athletes. But Terry, your 6th year there, did you, when you started coaching these young men, did you think, hey, this is a special group? I mean, because 50-1 doesn't happen, you know.
Well, we got. I think it helps with players. You got to have players. Yep. But we built this along the way. We've got a class that was 2 years ahead of these guys that went 20-0 their 8th grade year. But it's just a lot of the summer stuff we do, and just these kids who work their rear ends off. So it's a credit to them and all their hard work. So
yeah, you got a great team, great work ethic. Cameron, around 14, 15 points a ball game, co-captain. When did you obviously your dad's helped you with basketball, but when did you know that you had an aptitude for basketball? How early on did you know basketball was going to be important to you?
Probably when I was like 5 years old, just playing basketball every day.
Yeah, but I got to ask you now, because I've coached my own kids, and Coach knows where I'm going with this. I've coached my own kids, and what usually what happens, and I'm sure Coach did it perfect, but usually what happens is you're either too hard on your youngster because you don't want anybody saying, preferential treatment or whatever. So you're usually too hard, and some guys or gals then are too easy. Was your dad in the middle with that? How did you two handle that?
Sometimes he could be a little hard, but it was more in the middle.
Yeah, more in the middle. So your dad's a smart man. He knew how to do that. You're also a trackster, right? Mm-hmm. Tell me what you do in track.
I run a 100 relay and 4x100.
Okay, all right, very good. And Marshall, you're a linebacker, right? You're one of the tough guys, right?
Yeah.
Now, I've always found in basketball, if I've got a football guy playing basketball, that physicality helps me out on the boards. Is that what you do, Marshall?
Yes, it really helps me out because since I'm playing a bigger position.
Yeah.
Since I can bring my football strength and my footwork and stuff like that, I can bring that on the basketball court and get rebounds and stuff like that.
And when you go against a bigger guy, you're a big guy as is, but you're going to always play somebody bigger. That happens.
Yeah.
When you play against a bigger guy and you're a football man with football strength, you can kind of move them around in the low block, and it's a huge advantage. Coach, you're doing this right. Besides the winning, and the winning is incredible, 20-0 at home. Again, your gang's out here, the rest of the team who deserves so much credit, and all their parents who are supporting them here today too.
Great support staff.
Because you don't get anywhere without the parents, guys.
Great support staff, we really do.
I got to tell you this, fellas, mom and dad, without their support, you don't do anything. But you also do other things that are important to me and BCSN besides winning, and tell the folks some of the service projects, the tutoring that goes on, the things that you're working with the young men.
We set up a few years ago a tutor session. So any student athlete that came out that was on our basketball team that needed tutoring, we set up a 12-to-1 session on Saturday. So if they were struggling in a class, we grab a professor that we knew from the university or something like that, or one of our assistant coaches, Pratik Shaw, used to help us out as well. But just something that we want to do beyond basketball. We do a lot of charity stuff with Kingston Care, Nursing Home, Seagate Food Bank. And for us, it was about, basketball is one thing, being a student athlete, but, what's beyond your bubble.
Yes.
And so for us to be able to do that, I think the kids got a lot out of it because it's more than just being in practice, being in games. They got the chance to see the real world. And I think for us, as a parent, I want my son to be well-rounded, but we wanted our players to be well-rounded as well.
Yeah, and that really does it. Yeah. Guys, Cameron and Marshall, I can tell that, winning brings closeness. I understand that. But it's more than that. For you to be on the show today with your great coach and to have all your teammates want to be here, that tells me volumes about your team. Is that you guys hang together, you are together, you support one another. Is that, Cameron, pretty much the way it's been all along?
Yeah, we've always just had each other's back. If anything goes wrong, we're there for each other.
Yeah, and that's why you're successful. Big man, is it a trust thing when you're on the floor that you know that you're your teammates have your back, and that you're going to do your job and they're going to do their job?
Yeah, we're all we all play off each other real well, and we have a good feel for each other's game, so we really played off each other.
Yeah, well, talk about having a feel for your game, guys. We, on behalf of Buckeye Cable and BCSN, we want to congratulate your great coach here. Congratulate you, gentlemen. Congratulate all your teammates that are out there and their parents, because 50-1 is incredible, 20-0 at home. But more importantly, what you're doing in the community and giving back, and just the togetherness as a team, and understanding what real sport is all about. You're going to always be successful. And you know what? I had a ton of coaches in my high school and college and career, and the coach I remembered most was my grade school coach. Because they get you early. And they set the fundamentals, they set the tempo. You'll never forget your grade school coach. And
hopefully Cameron doesn't forget.
Well, Cameron does. We got a problem, Coach. Congratulations to all of you, gang. Great job.
Thanks.
Tom Cole for Buckeye Cable, BCSN, and another edition of Sports Flash.